Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. This was just going to be a quick little video kind of filling you in on everything that's been happening over the last couple of months. I am the Green House Witch of Maiden Magik. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. So let's get into it. So I started my YouTube channel at the beginning of 2021, and I got 4 videos out, and then of course life hit. This was just supposed to be a new creative outlet for me. I'm still not really 100% sure of what I'm looking to get out of this YouTube channel. What I do know is that I want to use it as a tool to not only educate myself, but educate others, and kind of go from there. I'm just gonna kind of winging it and seeing what happens. Just want to share what knowledge I have, even though I think it's little, and then hopefully I can learn from some of you and grow and just have another creative outlet. So basically, after I did my last video making the Banishing Bad Habits milk bath, which I will link somewhere over here, a lot's happened. It's nothing horrible, it's not super tragic, nobody's died, nothing like that. But it's just me and my husband. And my husband hadn't been feeling well probably since September, October of 2020. And it was probably before that, but that's when it got progressively worse. So he was having a lot of issues with his stomach and his bowels, and I won't go into any gross details because I'm sure you don't really want to know that information. But in a nutshell, we thought, at least after seeing with the doctors and a lot of the problems he was having, the main concern was that when he was having a bowel movement, he was having blood in his stool, and it wasn't just like once in a while, it was multiple times a day. And that was really scary. It's scary for him, for sure. It's scary for me, and I don't know how to say this without sounding petty, but he's kind of all he is all I have. Especially out here in BC where we live. All of my family is back on the East Coast. So my support system is my friends. 2 in particular here in my hometown. And even then, I don't necessarily always want to burden them with all this negative information. So some of it, my concerns I did keep to myself, which I think was detrimental to my mental health. But you live and you learn. Good news is that we've got through it. So what was going on with his stomach, it took a couple months, but we had to push to get him a colonoscopy. I had to go seeking a second opinion just because it was scary. And yeah, maybe we overreacted, but it's one of those things, it's the people you care about, you want answers. And also he's tired of being sick. Due to his sickness, he ended up with an injury from work, which we'll get into that too. He was having all these bloating issues. Anything he ate really upset his stomach, and then again with the blood. So finally got him in for colonoscopy. Now at first we were thinking that he might have Crohn's disease or colitis, or something along those lines. Unfortunately, with a lot of his symptoms, one of the big things, which neither of us really wanted to admit, but that was definitely nagging in the back of my head, was cancer. He had literally all of the symptoms of prostate cancer, and it was scary. It was very scary. Good news is we finally, after back in March, we finally got scheduled for a colonoscopy for April, and this is already after 7-8 months of going through all of his symptoms. We finally got him in for colonoscopy. The good news is that it came back clear. He does have polyps that they did find. They did say they're not really a concern right now, but he is going to have to go for regular checkups to make sure that they don't become cancerous. So that's good. We are happy that we at least got that information. But the other thing with polyps is that they can still interfere with your digestive tract. So right now we're on week 3 of doing an elimination diet to see about food sensitivities or anything like that. So yay. That's stressful in its own way because I love to bake and I love to cook, so having to literally work with like 5 foods is, oh, it's so frustrating, but it's definitely worth it because he's getting better, and which is definitely contributing to lower stress levels for me as well as our entire household. So the other thing that happened is due to him being sick and because of his symptoms and everything, he was constantly exhausted, like physically exhausted, and he has a job where he does 10-hour days. He works in a factory. So he, with his symptoms and being so tired all the time and constantly fatigued, and when you're doing that kind of manual labor, it's just a matter of time, unfortunately, before injury happens. And it did. He did everything. It's been checked out by what we call WorkSafe here in British Columbia, or workers' comp, depending on where you live. And he did everything by the book. So there was no fault to him in that aspect, which is great. But when he was bending down and picking up a piece of material, his one wrist just popped and it completely just let go. And I guess what that was a ligament in his wrist popped. And we are in the process of getting that fixed as well. So just one thing after another. And the other thing that just adds to the anxiety and the stress is I'm currently not working. I am not employed. I am unemployed, and I'm in school. So I started going to school in February. Granted, yes, it's online, but now with his injury, and because we're in a little isolated town, we have to travel for his doctor's appointments, whether it's to the Vancouver mainland or Vancouver Island. We have another appointment coming up in June for him to get an MRI to see if he actually needs surgery after having a custom brace made and having it immobilized for 6 weeks. We're really hoping he doesn't need surgery and that it will just heal on its own. But yeah, in a nutshell, that is my life the last couple months. And yeah, I've been trying to, in my downtime, instead of doing anything creative, I've honestly been trying to focus on school. I don't even feel like I'm as far in that as I should be, just because of what's going on. And when I get stressed or anxious, I'm not one of those people that can bury themselves in things. When I sit down and I try and read like my textbook or just a book to relax, I'll kind of blank and I'll just zone out, and I'm not really absorbing anything I'm reading. So if I'm not absorbing what I'm supposed to be learning, that's not really going to pay off when it comes to exam time. But stress levels are definitely down now that we're getting answers. So I'm really happy to report that I'm okay. He is okay, which is most important. and I'm trying to get back to doing things that are creative and that make me feel better, and this is definitely one of them. I was really hesitant about doing a video about what's been going on, and I realized that I'm keeping it somewhat generic, but I don't really want anybody's pity or anything like that. I just feel like this is somewhat cathartic, that I'm talking and I'm not dumping everything on one of my friends, even though some of them are subscribed to this channel, that they're going to see this anyway, and I do love you for everything that you've done, so thank you. You really have no idea how much I appreciate you guys. So I'm sorry I've been a downer, by the way, too, because I know I have been, and I've been trying to play it off, but you don't think I've been doing a great job. So let's just jump back in. We're getting back at it. If you follow me on Instagram, which I posted a story on, I do have a video coming. I had filmed a video actually for a wealth and abundance spell that you can do at home. But when I went to edit the video, even though I had everything nicely set up, I had all of the lighting, I had everything in frame, I measured everything out, I did all the proper video things that you're supposed to do. It didn't turn out. I was a little pissed. Basically what happened was everything was in frame, and I don't know if I just misjudged where the distance between myself and my supplies, but you literally couldn't see, you could see all the supplies, but you couldn't see anything that I was doing. So something in the universe was like, nope, this is for you, this is just your spell, you do this. So I have to redo that, which I'm doing this evening. By the time you're watching this, I should already have it done, and then I'm going to be posting that video. So that's what's coming, and the next one after that is going to be basic herbs that every beginner witch should have. Whether I'm going to do two separate ones. I'm going to do, well, not two separate videos, but I'm going to tell you the top 5 herbs that you should have in your collection and where to get them, based on research and what most books recommend, and then I'm going to give you what my recommendation is and what I found works best in your collection. And that's the thing, you need to find out what kind of practice you want to have, because then those herbs will dictate your spells. Or the other way around, your spells will dictate what herbs that you need. So those are the 2 that's coming up. Other than that, I haven't planned that far ahead. It's more, I just want to get those ones done, and then we'll go from there. So that's everything about my life. And I figured, since I'm sitting here, most of you probably don't really know what Maiden Magik is. So let me explain. Maiden Magik is my business. It is something, my personal business that I started back before I moved to BC. It's been basically in the works for about 5 years now. I've only been hardcore working at it for probably the last 2.5 to 3 years, because I started it back on the East Coast, and then I moved, and then obviously you don't have the funds, you can't buy the supplies, you can't do what you need. So it was still there in the background, but it wasn't prevalent. And now where I live, we have a lot of craft shows, and everyone is very supportive of local artists, which is wonderful. At Christmas time, we have pop-up shops, which I did last year, and it was super great and super successful. If any of you who bought my products at that pop-up shop at the Soapy Dragon, thank you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. I literally cried when I saw how much product I sold. I felt like I overmade product. There were some things that didn't sell as well as I thought they would, but the amount of product that I brought home compared to what I had brought, oh my god. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as for my products and what I make, right now I primarily have skincare. I have 2 facial cleansers. I have a new one that I actually just developed in my I've been in development for the last month, but I finally made it last week. I have a couple of testers. I'm going to be getting some feedback on that, and then I'll be posting that to my Etsy shop. But I have, so skincare, I have facial cleansers, I have facial toners, I have a actual serum, and all of my products are herbal infusions. And by that I mean I take the actual dried herbs, I infuse them with a base, whether it is a water, an alcohol, an oil, whatever have you, depending on what I'm making. And granted, those are not all called infusions. Some of them are called decoctions. It depends. That's a tangent and a separate story. So I take these herbs, I infuse them, and to get the actual medicinal properties of the plant. I do use some essential oils to enhance my products, but one of the common misconceptions about what I've noticed when I'm at craft shows is that people think my products are made out of essential oils. They're not. I am not a Young Living sales representative. If you are, no offense. It's just, I'm sure you've dealt with this too. It's a little bit frustrating when people just automatically make an assumption about what you do and they don't even talk to you and they just keep walking and they're like, oh, that's an essential oils person. You know what? Talk to me. Talk to me. I will tell you all of the information and overflow your brain with all of this knowledge that I have about what I am doing. Please, just come say hi. I am super friendly and I can talk to a brick wall, as you've probably noticed watching this video. Anyway, aside from the skincare, I'm also trying to develop, and I have developed, certain products for eczema, and dermatitis, like mild eczema and dermatitis. I have one for sore muscles and aches and pains. I've made an all-natural version of Vicks. I am currently, this one's hard, but I am trying to develop a liquid Tylenol, going completely old school when Tylenol, ibuprofen, those kind of things were made out of like willow bark. So I'm trying to get more, I don't want to say holistic, but I'm trying to get more products along those lines that can help people with particular ailments. And it's more of a slow development because I have to meet a lot of people and talk to people, and it's a networking thing and figuring out what people need, what are they looking for, what is a common ailment that I'm not aware of. Because like if you go to a store, you can buy anything and everything, but my thing is I want to know what you're looking for. So that's kind of the basics of what MaidenMagik is. It's me wanting to create products for people to help them. It started with skincare because I suffered from acne for most of my teenage life. I still do. I get it horribly on my chest, but that's like a cystic acne, which is caused by bacteria. That's just a different issue aside. But for my face, I used to get it on my face, my back, my chest. Like, it was awful. And it didn't matter what I tried, nothing worked. It would kind of help, but then when my skin adjusted to it, it just broke out again. It didn't matter. And then you're using all these harsh chemicals or alcohols or whatever, and you're trying to go towards more all natural ones, but it was just, nothing ever worked. So I said, and I made my own. It started with one facial cleanser, and now I have this dream of having my own little witchy cottage and my own little business. I do have an Etsy shop up, which I will get to, but I just want this cute, adorable little witchy cottage with a little storefront that people can come to, and I can do custom orders for people. That's the one thing a lot of people don't know, is I do custom orders. So if you do have a particular ailment, I will do my best to create something specifically for you. Now, saying that, massive disclaimer, I am not a doctor. By no means. I am not a doctor. I will not pretend that I am a doctor. I do not have that knowledge. I do not have that education, and I will not even pretend that I do. For those of you who are doctors and have done that and gone to school, bravo, I admire you, good job, like holy crap. That's some. So I do, however, have a deep interest in herbalism and botany, and now that we are finally at a place in our lives, I can really start developing that. And the one thing I didn't mention is I said I use herbs. My goal is to actually use all my own that I grow. So if my plant decides to die or stops growing, I'm going to be out of that herb. I realize I am not to that extent yet. I don't have the space with where I'm currently living. I did just get a greenhouse, which is super exciting, and I love it. But my seedlings aren't taking right now, and I'm really cranky about that. But different story. That's okay. Herbs, yes, herbs. Right now I get them from local suppliers within Canada. The one I like is the most is, I hope I say this right, I want to say Reichert's. I don't think that's how it's actually pronounced. Anyway, they're in Northern Ontario. They're wonderful. All of their products are beautiful. They're absolutely wonderful to use. Highly recommend them if you're just looking for loose herbs to add to your collection. Their prices are super decent, and you get a lot of variety with sizes that you can order. So that's MaidenMagik. MaidenMagik is me and my dream of basically being creative and making products and helping people. So, hi. I do have an Etsy page. It's finally up. It's finally stocked. I will link that down below, and you can go and check that out. And I have 2 new products that'll be coming in the upcoming months. The one is, I'll just give you a quick little hint. One is a herbal powdered face wash, or sorry, I shouldn't say wash, exfoliant, because you are only supposed to use it 2 to 3 times a week. And the other product is a tattoo healing balm. And I developed that specifically because this year birthday presents for my husband and I are going to be tattoos. It has been so long since I've been tattooed, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. It's been really hard to save the money and justify it with some other things that are coming up. But this is really what I wanted for my birthday. And it's basically going to be, it's not, but it will be a memorial tattoo to some 4-legged little man who is literally the love of my life, but we're not going to get into that. Anyway, that's it. That's where I've been. Speak of the devil, he just sauntered in the room. Hi! You want to come say hi? Come say hi. Oh. Say hi. Say hi, everyone. Hi. This is Maxwell. This is my baby, who's 14, going on 15 in August. But anyway, thank you everyone so much for joining me. Thank you for listening. I still feel very uncomfortable posting this, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. So thank you so much for joining me and learning a little bit more about what MaidenMagik is. If you have any questions, please post them below. I will get back to you. And I will have my next video for my Wealth and Abundance spell out this week. I'm hoping for Wednesday. If I can get it out on Tuesday, I definitely will. But thanks again. Have a great day. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you are located in this world. Bye.